Chad Benson Show
on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Trump telling the world what happened.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault, and it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II.
It gets better. Since World War II. We've never seen anything like it.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi,
Bin Laden,
and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done.
Bin Laden. That's pretty good, too. It's pretty cool. It was awesome. What we did. Show force. Amazing. What happens from here? Couldn't tell you. I don't think anybody knows.
Well, if you look at history, we're going to not stick the landing.
We never stick the landing. I think if we're honest with ourselves, right, if we could just okay, for a moment, we are really good at getting into stuff. We are bad at getting out. We are. And not only are we, first of all, can we all agree, right? No occupation. No occupation. I know we have the viceroy. But Ms. Rodriguez is now the El Presidente in Venezuela. She was sworn in earlier. And so I don't want boots on the ground any more than we already had. That's enough. We don't need any more than that. That is enough. I don't want to go into Colombia, right? I don't want to go into, this whole thing was the Monroe Doctrine was about Europe. We weren't what we were and are now. And it was about Europe spreading its wings and its vast opportunities to maybe have its empires. That's not, we don't need, we know who dominates the world. We do. And yeah, China, we do. We do. You guys, China's not battle tested at all. Outside of the skirmishes with the Indians. No, not those Indians. The actual people from India.
And most of that is hand-to-hand.
Yeah, most of that's like ninja stuff. They're fighting each other.
Fist fighting.
Yeah. Outside of that, they haven't been in a war for a while. And when they did, they've lost. So, we are the dominant beast out there. So let's just, but I don't want to. I thought you were about peace. Thought that is that wrong? Is it a different guy that was talking about no more wars?
Break me off a piece of this oil reserve.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. Oh, look, do I get it? Yes, you got some oil, right? It's the whole. Remember your oil. It's like the Reese's peanut. No, your peanut butter got into my chocolate. No, your chocolate got into my peanut butter. Your oil got into my land. No, my land got on top of your oil. That's kind of where this went. And there's a lot that goes on with this. Now, do I think that this is over by any stretch? No. Because now everybody is going to be jockeying to save face with Trump. And if they think that's going to go nowhere, they're sure in the hell not going to go down without a fight. Because as Chris and I were talking about earlier, let me tell you something. If soldiers come home in body bags, that changes this altogether. That's a different look. So no, an occupation, you could take over a country with not a lot of folks. We've seen it. The CIA's done it for years. You can do the coup, hoo-hoo. But let me tell you, occupying it is different. That's a different world. You need 60, 80, 100,000 people potentially. And I don't know where it's going to go from here. I don't think anybody does because we don't know who's really in charge. She is right now, but you have Machado, right? She is the lady that wasn't allowed to run for president. But Mr. Gonzalez, who did run for president, who won, and everybody acknowledges he won in July, he in theory is president, but she wants the gig. They're probably going to have new elections at some point in time. But what does that look like? And are we going to have to go in there and monitor the elections? I don't know. What's the UN say about it? They're not thrilled by this. And while all that's going on, what else are we doing? We're talking about, I don't know. Let's take over Greenland. Did you see that? They were tweeting out, pictures of Greenland. It was Stephen Miller's wife. And it said USA on it because that helps.
And apparently the prime minister of Denmark's getting really irritated.
Yeah,
with
he's not
it.
happy about that.
He's like, you are not annexing our land.
Yeah, we need the land. It's gonna be for us to fight the Chinese and the Russians.
In an interview on Danish TV, she has been quoted as saying that she believes that anyone should take Donald Trump's threats about wanting Greenland seriously. And then she goes on to say that if the US were to attack Greenland, then she believes that would be the end of the NATO alliance, the end of the security structure, the transatlantic relationship since the end of World War II.
I don't think Trump cares about that. I don't think he does. I don't think he really cares that much about the NATO alliance, any kind of I don't think he cares about any of that stuff. So, do we really need Greenland? I mean, I don't. First of all, it's not green. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, Eric the Red was a liar.
Totally lied. He did it so nobody would come take his stuff. But it is, I mean, this whole thing is crazy because it's the unforeseen circumstances that can come with this and the consequences. Because the fear is the people that are currently in power, because the regime's still in power. There's about 50 families. Think of them kind of like the mob. They kind of run everything. So you've got all these families there that are running everything. And the president now, Ms. Rodriguez, she is the Ministry of Oil. That was kind of her jam. And she came along in the Chavez regime, but Maduro's where she flourished. And so they were tight. But other people aren't as tight with, the regime, and they're not going to go down without a fight. And that's the fear, is it becomes Libya. It becomes El Salvador in the 80s. It becomes the things that we've seen in the past, Honduras. It becomes those things where all of a sudden it devolves into this group over here has got, the freedom fighters and the revolutionaries. Oh, revolution. These people over here have the military. And this guy's got the police. This guy's got, and now it devolves into chaos, which I hope doesn't happen. But I think a lot of people are, they're thrilled he's gone. Okay, great. Now what? Have we thought about the what? Because the what can't be, well, we're going to let Marco run it indefinitely. Or do you think we're going to set up a house for him in Caracas? How funny would that be? Because he's coming after, we know where they're going next. Cuba.
But this is all about drugs. That's why we were going into Colombia.
So many drugs.
I want those cigars.
You do? This is really bad. Trump is, by the way, let's be honest. You don't think Trump is dreaming about hotels in Havana?
Oh, he is, dude.
Absolutely.
He looks at pictures of the 50s and just drools.
He's like, there's a casino I can't screw up, right? He is. And he's trying to figure out how he can make it so his kids have some sort of pipeline deal in, Venezuela. I can't believe they got it. They're experts in pipelines. They're just so good at the pipelining thing. It's just, probably the best ever. Chevron comes to them every day and says, how do you do pipeline stuff? And they're just like, they're the best.
Put us on the board and don't look at our laptops.
That's right. That's my fear has always been the Civil War. Because getting rid of Maduro wasn't even probably the most powerful man in, you always think, like, Xi's the most powerful cat in China, but up until he was made like the supreme cat, like the emperor for you, if you will, for life.
President for life.
Yeah. Up until then, there were he had some enemies, and he had some people that maybe didn't see eye to eye with him, wanted to be closer with the West, and Xi was more of a Maui guy. And I'm not talking about Maui Wowie. I'm talking about Mao. Doesn't Mike Tyson have a tattoo of Mao on his chest?
Does he?
I think he does. Because, yeah. But the fear is everybody's going to go to their corners and face off. So if you turned it over to the people that, quote unquote, won in the last election, which they have nothing on the ground. They don't have 100,000 people that are in the military that are willing to back them. They don't have all of the police or the intelligence agencies. They don't have all the infrastructure. They're just popular because they're anything but Maduro or the Chavistas. So if you turn it over to them, which you would think, okay, well, they won. I mean, the whole thing was done. But she recognizes she would be done. I mean, the minute she landed, because she's already talked about they want retribution, they want trials, they want to put all the corruption in front of the world. Do you think that's good? You're going to let that happen? You're a 60-year-old man, right, who's got everything you could think of as far as the power in that country when it comes to the police and the secret police and the intelligence agencies. Or you run the military, you're going to let them put you on trial? You're going to just hand yourself over? And we're not going to go in and take them all out at once because that's going to end up being a nightmare. And it changes when pictures of soldiers who have died come home. It changes everything. And so where we go from here, I don't know. All I know is all of the rehab centers, because now that we've stopped the flow of drugs, thank God for that. Do you guys feel better about that? We can't. There's no more drugs anymore. Despite Bell saying, no, the war on drugs won. That's not true.
Sure it is.
Look at Panama.
Somebody bring me my weed.
You can't do that anymore, right? When was that? You can't.
It's not until June.
Oh, okay. It's not until June.
Oh, you mean they passed a law?
Yeah.
Well, that stops everything.
Oh, yes, it does, because we're law-abiding citizens. That's what we are here, people.
I obey all the laws that I think make sense.
That makes sense. So I'm curious to see what this court trial looks like, because Trump, has talked about once you're president, right, that you would kind of get a pass for a lot of different things. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I think is going to be interesting to watch when it comes to the trial, if indeed there is a trial, or maybe, I don't know, he get Epstein. You don't know. But also, and I'm telling you guys, look out for this. Trump is still fighting the fight that he thinks everything was stolen from him. And Venezuela's always been one of those things that's out there, that Venezuela stole it with the machines, and they were able to hack into it. So all of this is going to be crazy interesting in the coming days and weeks. There he is right there. Old Marco. So Marco what is he? He's Secretary of State. He's now the Viceroy.
No, it's actually his title's been changed to the Secretary of whatever Trump tells me to do.
Whatever Trump. And don't give anything of responsibility to Pete Hegseth or the Vice President. He turns and he looks behind. He's like, Marco, what do you got going on today? I got enough job. You want one more job? That's what I heard. Fantastic.
Yeah, here he's not only Secretary of State, he's acting U.S. National Security Advisor, acting Archivist of the United States, and acting Administrator of U.S. Aid.
So there's all of that. And now the Viceroy.
Acting Administrator of U.S. Aid ain't that difficult these days.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. Not since Tim Walz ruined it for everybody. We should talk a little bit about that. Somalians, you guys are trying to steal all the food. We know who you are. That was funny listening to Tim Walz talk about that. It's been ruined. You ruined it for everyone. Now kids aren't getting fed because of you, and I blame you guys right there. Who's the captain now? I would say Crunch. That's who's the captain. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to try to squeeze into. New Year's resolutions. Have you guys set your New Year's resolutions? We're going to talk about those, among other things. All coming up straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. I am El Presidente. Remember when they killed Saddam and he was screaming how he's still the president as they hung him?
When they pulled him out of the spider hole, he identified himself as, I am Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq. And it's like, buddy, no, you're not.
Yeah. Well, you are. And that's who we were looking for. So, wow. By the way, little resemblance when they have him in they kind of look the same.
They do.
They do. The mustache, the whole 9 yards. So, El Presidente, sir. The court trial, if it ever gets that far, is going to be interesting. If it ever gets that far.
Well, why do you think it wouldn't, since they had no problem prosecuting Noriega?
Because the Noriega thing was a little bit more interesting, but the way that things have gone now, the snatch and grab, the way that we did it, and the fact that sometimes people don't make it all the way to trial.
Well, I know that between Venezuela and Panama, Noriega was really moving weight.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Not only was he moving weight, but also we gave him a pass. I mean, he was a CIA asset for years. So there was a lot going on with Noriega that wasn't just, he got a little too big for his britches, though, right? You can't just have fun, take the money, look the other way. Now Petro, who's the president of Colombia, right, with Shakira, whatever, they should have as they come across. We can't attack them. He's begging Trump.
But there's all the cocaine we got to stop, man.
Yeah, there's a different kind of fuel over there. a little booger sugar. You mean that's real weight? They're moving real stuff. They're not moving. There was nothing. Venice, go look at the indictment. Not one mention of fentanyl anywhere in the indictment.
And also in Colombia, it's produced. It is farmed. It is processed. It is packaged. It is shipped out of Colombia when it comes to cocaine.
And for the 8% that leaves South America that goes through Venezuela, for that, I would say more than half, if not 67%, ends up in Spain, through Africa, and then onto the continent. And a lot of the other stuff gets to Australia, where the big money is. Because the Aussies need it, they're down under and trying to keep themselves awake. So very little gets to us. So if we're serious about it, it isn't Cuba, it's not Colombia, it's China, who give all of the necessary pharmaceuticals and ingredients for fentanyl, and it's Mexico. Those are the two that need to be gone after if we're serious about it.
You know who's not going to be sleeping anytime soon?
Who?
The newly sworn-in president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez.
Yeah, I don't. A few of them are going to try to bounce sooner rather than later. They're going to try to get out, but I don't know if she. I think because
it'll go smooth
because she's the oil minister.
Well, yeah.
As long as she plays ball.
As long as she plays ball, and Trump wanted a scalp, and he got it, and it was a brilliant tactics. Everything that worked amazing. But I think right now, because if they go and take her out at this moment in time, then I think you're going to see unrest everywhere. So, because then at that point in time, the other people realize that stuff's going to happen, because I think everybody's on super high alert. So I think they're going to let it quiet down while they try to figure out, are they going to set new elections? What are they going to do? But yeah, she's got to be a little bit worried. And she also has to know that everybody around her potentially is a spy.
That's
a tough thing. Man, being a dictator sucks. Everybody thinks it's fun. I will tell you this right now. Man, there is what was the name of that movie that was about Saddam Hussein? It was and about his sons, the lookalikes. I think it was the Green something, or the Life with the Devil, or whatever it was. But I tell you what, man, it sucks. It does. It is not fun, because everybody wants what you have.
Plus, look how fat Kim Jong-un's gotten.
Yeah.
That man has never met a milkshake he didn't like.
Yeah, or scotch, or anything else that nobody else. Yeah, anything else that nobody can get there. But being a dictator, man, you sleep with one eye open.
Yes, sir.
Because everybody wants to kill you.
Yep.
You're on cocaine without being on cocaine. That's how paranoid you are. Coming up, more fun stuff. CES, we'll talk a little bit about that. Plus New Year's resolutions. Do you have yours? Are you keeping them? Are they resolutions? Are they goals? What should you do? Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. The show is flying today, kids. You can always text the program, but you can also leave a voicemail, right, if that's what you want to do.
Hey, Chad, it's kind of like that episode of Gilligan's Island where the El Presidente, I can't think of the guy's name, came on there. That's what Gilligan had to call him. El Presidente. They dropped him off. He got kicked out of office. They dropped him off there, but he was still El Presidente. Anyway, I think you know what I'm talking about.
That was called The Little Dictator. And
naturally, he got off the island, but they didn't.
He didn't. But yeah.
That always happens.
Always happens, man. Their luck, I'm telling you what. Their luck. You know what else is they managed to do okay. They didn't lose a lot of weight.
And they had shows, Broadway shows.
They did. Remember when the Globetrotters showed up out of nowhere? Also got off the island.
That island had more visitors than I think the Hawaiian Islands did.
Yeah, it's like the movie. What was that TV show that came out, The Last Man on Earth? And yet there's 100 people on the show. I don't think they know what The Last Man on Earth means.
Well, and nobody would come back for them.
No, nobody ever thought, hey, you know what? Is that
I was on this island, this little remote island. There's people there. They're stranded. Somebody's got to go get them.
There's a smart guy, a fat guy, a goofy guy, some rich people, and a couple hot chicks. Maybe we should send some help for them. Nah, don't worry. They'll be fine. They're probably having a good time there. They are. I just remember watching that show, and even as a kid, I was like, why are they there so long? Because you're trying to process why Gilligan and his people are there forever and a day.
Why was there a gorilla on the island last week and now he's gone?
Yeah, now he's gone. Where'd he go? He got off the island, right? He did. He got voted off the island. But not them. Always there. Always there. You know why? Because Gilligan
is an idiot.
Well, not only that, but they had nothing going on shore. A couple of them, first of all, the skipper, I hate to break it to you guys, I have a feeling he had probably done some shady stuff, and he probably was wanted by the law.
The skipper?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh.
Right?
That's why you couldn't hire competent staff.
Right? Then you've got the professor. You know he did some super shady stuff that he wasn't supposed to do, so they're looking for him.
He was messing around with co-eds.
All the time.
And he was.
Then you know that the wealthy folk were
Thurston Howell III.
Super Ponzi scheme. There was all kinds of indictments out for him.
Bernie Madoff before Bernie Madoff.
Bernie Madoff before Madoff. And those poor two chicks who were running from their boyfriends, right? One of them, was running.
Ginger was probably a former porno star, and Marianne was the only one with any emotional credibility at all on that island.
Yeah, see? That was it. Now that we've ruined it for you guys, enjoy the show.
And, of course, Gilligan was a pothead.
Yeah, Gilligan.
Both on the island and in real life.
And that's why they were in all kinds of trouble, right? What was the show he was on originally? Dobie?
The Many Loves of Dobie Gray?
Yeah, where he played Gilligan.
Well, he did
the chin thing.
He did an episode of Andy Griffith, and he just basically played Gilligan.
Yeah, that was it. Like, this was his thing. So, somebody just sent me a meme. The bottle came back. The note reads, "Stay where you are. America's gone crazy." And it's got Gilligan and them reading it. Oh, my Lord. Do you guys do New Year's resolutions?
I do not.
What about you, Ken?
I really didn't think about one this year.
So I do goals. Right. Though, to me, that's always like important because goals are because resolutions. Here's the problem with resolutions. People come out with the most ridiculous resolutions, right? Like, I want to look like Brad Pitt. I do as well, but I'm not going to let myself go like that. So wait, what?
I was getting ready to say, man.
No, but
it's like, what the hell's he talking about?
I can't eat like that. That's disgusting. No, people want the most ridiculous things. So we've got a breakdown of when it goes sideways. How long do you think most resolutions last?
A week.
I was going to say 10 days.
Between January 12th and the 19th. That's peak failure window.
So if you get past that, the odds of you succeeding go up?
A little bit. Yeah, absolutely. So now here's the thing. Not this Friday, but the next Friday will be what they call Quitter's Day. That is when a vast majority of people quit. So routines fade, right? Because you're back to work. Your results don't show, right? You've gone to the gym twice. You did 4. You've had a salad, and you did at least 50 sit-ups, and yet no six-pack has emerged.
I am doing dry January.
That's no alcohol?
No alcohol.
That's just fentanyl, Chad.
I guarantee you I lose 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you got dry January. You've got Black History Month.
That's next month.
That's next month. Is that what you're doing? I'm doing that too. But then you've got, what are the other stuff? They have like mustache, no shave, November, whatever, and stuff like that. But dry January, that's big. And you think you're going to lose how much?
10 pounds.
10 pounds. All right. 10 pounds. The first 2 weeks, 30 to 40% of people abandon resolutions. By the end of January, 50 to 60% are done. By February, 80% of resolutions are completely abandoned. Why is that? Simple. It's not goals. You set out things that you were never going to do. There's a great saying in the business world. People overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in 5. You've seen people who right now, I'll tell you, there are people that are working in AI that are not millionaires and they're not going to be a millionaire next year, but in 5 years, there's a chance they'll be billionaires. They overestimate what they think they can do. So you have to set real goals. Like you can't just go, I'm going to look like so-and-so. Say, no, look, I want to lose 30 pounds and this is this is it.
And I want to look like so-and-so.
Yeah, don't do the so-and-so thing. People don't forgive themselves. That was a big one too. They cut themselves no slack. So they'll be doing everything great, and then they'll have a piece of pizza. Like, it's screwed. That's it.
No, just quit.
It's eating pizza all day.
Where's the ice cream?
That's it. They just, because once they kind of go sideways, it comes off. The wheels come off that bus, right? You've got to be able to forgive yourself. So that's a big thing. The other thing is, and this was pretty big, can't expect ridiculous and fast results, right? And the accountability. So, and this is a hard thing because saying, all right, so let's say that all three of us say, look, we guys, we want to drop 30 pounds, whatever. We're fine because we're all kind of doing it together. But a lot of times you tell people some of your goals and stuff, they're not on the same path as you and they're not trying to do these things. So they don't want you to, they don't want to hold you accountable or make fun of you. So you've got to do it in a real way that's good. By the way, after dry January, Larry says, it's lush February. Somebody says it's stormy February. So that's interesting. Yeah, I forgot about dry January. Like, so you go home, what do you have, 8, 10 scotches? What is it? What are you doing tonight?
No, man, I don't drink during the week, but like on the weekends, I'll have it. I will have at least a 6-pack of very strong beer over the weekend and maybe a couple of shots of tequila.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Remember, a quart is considered single serving.
And the problem with the beer I like is it's so good. It's going to be so hard not doing this.
So, but that's once, it's like you're not doing it on a nightly basis.
No, absolutely not.
So, but
no,
you think
I would be dead.
Chad, I don't think you understand. The way I drink on the weekends, if I drink like that for real, I would die.
I would.
I would be pickled. But I've always, I do goals. I have goals at home. I have all that stuff. And I don't set ridiculous goals. I want to lose another 20 or 30 pounds this year, but I'm not look, it's like a half a pound a week. And that's stop smoking crack. I already beat that one.
Yeah, I stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Crack is whack.
It really does make you a quitter.
Well, we all have to quit now because Trump has solved the drug problem. No more booger sugar here.
I was waiting for my next big brick to come in.
You guys want to do some? You got some yayo? Aw.
Yum yum. The Chinaman's nightcap.
The Chinaman's nightcap.
Remember that from Seinfeld?
Peterman was, Peterman was.
Jay Peterman.
He was accusing Elaine of being on heroin because she was eating poppy seed bagels.
Oh, Elaine, the river of denial.
The Chinaman's nightcap. That is so funny. You guys want to do a little bump? Anybody?
Did you know that? You know those stir sticks that McDonald's used to have?
Oh, yeah.
That had the tiny spoon on the end. They quit making those because people were using them to do coke.
Do you remember in the 80s, they said like every dollar bill had like had Coke on it?
Yeah.
So insane. I was with my buddy Pablo a couple years ago, and he was a stupid dive bar. We're in this place, and he sees this guy that's like, and I don't drink or anything, and he's like, hey, whatever the guy's name is, he goes, what's up? And the guy goes, do I know you? He goes, you want to do some yayo? No. He goes, do you have some yayo? No. Do you want some yayo? Come on.
And then he got stabbed.
We're in the right place. We're in the right place.
Yeah, that sounds like a real safe place.
I'm like, we're so getting stabbed here. This is happening.
Yeah.
This feels like not a shooting, but a stabbing area. All right, coming up, I believe, is Matt here? Is he not?
Yeah, should be back today.
Okay. Well, you never know with him.
He was moving over the
Was it over the weekend? I think he's doing it.
Holiday,
There's a lot going on with Matt. You know, he's very busy.
He's a very busy fella.
Yeah. I wonder if he's part of No Dry. Are you part of No Dry? What is it? Dry January?
Dry January.
You part of that?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't going to call it that, but yeah, I was planning on quitting drinking for a while.
I think we call that an intervention. Oh, Lordy.
Quitting drinking sounds like a country song title.
I was quitting drinking because when I do, nobody likes me.
Well, there's nobody around to like me. I just drink alone.
Oh, and that's even sadder. Oh, Bell, ladies and gentlemen. We'll wrap it up straight ahead. Chad Benson Show. Summertime. Not going to move that camera. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all back to normie today. Matt's in. How was the Music City Bowl? Was Jackson sad?
It was good. Jackson was sad. I mean, as you are when your football team loses, but it was a lot of fun. I was a little bit disappointed in the Tennessee Volunteer faithful because it was probably half full, maybe.
It's compared to a lot of the bowl games.
I mean, I suppose that's all you can expect.
So a little bit more than the Titans draw.
Well, yeah, certainly there were more fans at the Music City Bowl than there were at the last Titans game that I went to.
Yeah.
So
Titans were so bad they weren't
that.
even invited to a bowl.
That's right. They just were invited to go home and be done with the season.
Now, I know that you're going to like this because we were talking about it earlier. Was it kind of fun watching all the Bama fans just rail all over Indiana before the game kicked off, how they're going to walk and stomp all over these guys, and then to find out that, oh, my God, this team's real?
Yeah, I mean, that was fun until Georgia played and got their butts beat by Ole Miss. But, I don't know. I mean, the Bama faithful, they're just so easy to dislike.
Just to poke and stuff.
I mean, they're just so easy to dislike. But, it was nice to watch, I will admit.
Oh, some of those people were so hilarious. You know what's funny about Ole Miss? Every time they win, he gets another fat bonus. Old Lane Kiffin, would he get $500,000 for this one?
Well, and isn't there's something up in the air about whether or not they're going to continue to allow the assistant coaches that they can allow to coach against Georgia? I guess they assumed that they would lose to Georgia, which was a bad assumption, obviously. But and then now they've got to figure out whether they get to stay.
Yeah, they have to go to Lane and say, is it okay if they stay in,
and it's just going to get weird because Lane Kiffin's going to want credit for anything that happens from here on out. And you don't get credit when you quit on your team.
Yeah, he wanted to coach, but they said no.
You know who gets credit is that Chambliss kid. Good gracious.
Was that an amazing game?
Could not miss a pass.
That was such an amazing game. College football is so awesome to watch.
Yeah, I love it.
It was just so awesome to watch. So
I bet that was a good game to watch if you weren't a fan of the Georgia Bulldogs.
If you weren't, that was again across the board. It was a hell of a game. But
yeah,
Georgia,
I knew we were going to lose when we couldn't get across the finish line, and we just left time on the. I was like, no, that's not going to work. So
I'm pumped. Ohio State
out.
So you got Miami.
I think Indiana wins.
Huh?
I think Indiana wins the.
I think it's Indiana, Oregon. I think the winner of that game is going to be the winner of the whole thing. because I think those two teams, Miami's good.
Miami's defense is really
That's their defense. Defense wins championships.
Really
They'll punch you in the throat.
Really good.
Those are some men over there.
I just don't want Carson Beck to win a championship.
No, oh, yeah. There's just a little disdain right there.
Weird.
He did good things for you guys. You guys hate him now.
He's a college quarterback who's driving a Lamborghini to practice.
It happens.
It's garbage.
Okay?
It's just
garbage.
just trash.
It is.
That's trash. That's 100% trash. You're driving up and parking next to kids that just want to play football that are, I mean, I'm not pretending they're poor, and you're driving up in a Lambo. It's just,
that's trash.
I think it's trash.
That's super trash. I agree with you 100%. That is the money, though, they throw around for these kids. Man, these guys are fighting to stay in school for the next 12
I think
years.
Miami paid him $4 million.
Yeah. I mean,
I think Trinidad Chambliss is going to get like $4 million if he gets to come back to Ole Miss. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
But I'm an old timer now.
Yeah,
we
I just like the old handshakes.
The good old days when you played for pride
and handshakes with the boosters,
wads of cash
and
in the
no-show jobs.
right. Remember the good old days when you drove around a brand new Ford pickup? Yeah, were those.
I used to water their lawn. They don't have a lawn, but they said I watered their lawns for $4,000 a month in a caddy.
Pebbles.
What are you talking about today?
I don't know. Anything going on? We've got a lot of local that we're going to discuss today because of this Columbia Power and Water situation that is coming to fruition. It's going to impact a lot of the listening audience. If you live in Murray County, if you live in Giles County, if you live in any of the surrounding counties in and around Columbia, then you need to listen to the show at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock today, because at 4 o'clock we got a representative from the Columbia Power and Water System to describe the $550 million that they're attempting to borrow from the state, and they're going to charge their ratepayers over the next 5 years plus to pay that money back.
So basically what you're saying is the people, they're borrowing the money for you guys to pay back.
And it's taxation without representation, because the Columbia City Council are the ones that are voting on this, but it's going to impact people outside of the city of Columbia, which is weird. So we're going to discuss that today, and obviously Maduro, Venezuela, all of that.
He's Mr. El Presidente. Still, that's what he's saying. That's going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt's back. We're all back. You guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow.